Hi, fourth graders. So this is the second of our 3 review sheets for the Unit 8 test. Right now I'm on page 343 of my book. Number 8 says, a gear in a watch turns clockwise in 1-degree sections a total of 300 times. The gear has turned a total of how many degrees? This question might seem pretty complicated at first, but if you're thinking about something turning, if it turns in just 1-degree increments, let's say, for example, I have an angle here. Maybe I'll think of it more of like hands on a clock. So these are my 2 hands on a clock there. If it goes just 1 degree and then 1 degree again, and it keeps going around that way in a circle, my drawing isn't the best, but you can kind of see what I mean. If it does that 300 times, then we can just think about it as a math problem, 300 times 1. 300 times 1, of course, equals 300. So really just thinking, oh, it goes 1 degree each turn for 300 turns, 300 times 1. Number 9, Lucy is designing a block for a quilt. She measured one of the angles. Use the numbers and symbols on the tiles to write and solve an equation to find the unknown angle measure. Okay, so this is one of those problems where we're not going to have to measure the angle. We just have to figure out what it measures with the clues that we're given. So I see my question mark here. That's the angle that they're asking me about. And I see that this one is given to me, 110 degrees. So I have to decide, what math problem can I do to figure out this question mark? Well, I do know something about a straight angle. What do we know about a straight angle? A straight line, a straight angle all together measures, which one of these? 180. Very good. So 180, and then I have the 110. What kind of math problem should I set up here to get the question mark? 180 minus 110 equals, and if you do the math there, you'll get 70 degrees. Hopefully that makes sense. So we have the total that we know just because we've memorized it, that's 180. And then because these two angles are up against each other, they're adjacent, that means that if you add them up together, you'll get that total right or straight angle that it's creating. So go ahead and study that one pretty carefully. Make sure you understand how that works. And if you don't, let me know or let an adult know so that we can help you figure those out. Okay, number 10. Number 10, Luke is drawing a figure that has exactly 2 acute angles, exactly 2. For 10A through 10D, choose yes or no to tell if the figure could be the figure that Luke is drawing. Okay, so basically, does the figure have exactly 2 acute angles? What do you guys think? Does this one have exactly 2? Yes, it does. The top and the bottom. The sides are obtuse. What about this one? Does this one have exactly 2 acute angles? Yes, it does. That one is less than 90 and that one is less than 90, but the top one is not. The top one is greater. It's an obtuse angle. What about 10C? Does it have exactly 2 acute angles? No, it doesn't have any acute angles, does it? That's a square, it looks like. All the angles are right angles on that one. And then here we have a pentagon because it has 5 sides. Does it have exactly 2 acute angles? No, it does not. It looks to me like all of those angles are obtuse. Yeah, yep, those are all obtuse. Okay, number 11. Triangle QRS over here can be classified as, is this an acute triangle, a right triangle, or an obtuse triangle? So we know when they're using those kind of words, they're talking about the angles. Are the angles in the corners acute, right, obtuse? What makes that kind of triangle? Think about it for a second. If you said it is an acute triangle, you are correct. Remember that acute triangles, all 3 of the angles are acute in an acute triangle. Not true about obtuse or right triangles, though. Those only have one of those types of angles. Okay, number 12. Choose the two angles that can be put together to make a 130-degree angle. So basically, which two of these can add up to get to 130 degrees? On this, obviously, you'd have to have some scratch paper out. You'd be guessing and testing. And if you have done mental math and made a prediction, you might have noticed that 55 plus 75 equals 130. Again, that if I were solving that and had the time to do it, I would need to set up those problems to make sure that I had that right. Number 13. A sign has two pairs of parallel sides and two pairs of equal sides. What shape is the sign? Ooh, okay. So two pairs of parallel. I'm just going to kind of do some sketching here. Okay, those are parallel. And two pairs of equal sides. Oh, notice it didn't say like all the sides are equal to each other. It has two pairs of equal sides separately is how I'm figuring that out. So I'm going to use, remember these tick marks that I told you about? When we have one tick mark, that shows that this side is equal to that side. And then these matching tick marks here show that this side is equal to this side. So what shape would you guys say that could be? I would say rectangle, although it did not say that the shape has right angles. So because of that, parallelogram, pardon my writing here, I'm at a weird angle. Parallelogram might also be a really good top choice there. But rectangle is the answer that the answer key gives us. I think it should have said right angles, though, to be honest. I think that right angle should have been there in order for that to be classified for sure as a rectangle. Okay, number 14. The circle represents all of the students in a class. Each section represents the students in the class who chose a certain color as their favorite. The angle measures for some sections are given. Okay, so in other words, blue, the angle measure here is 130 degrees, red 70, green 60. What is the sum? Hopefully you remember the word sum means to add. It's the answer to an addition problem. What is the sum of the angle measures for blue, red, and green? So if you added up blue, red, and green on your scratch paper, you would get 260 degrees. You can double check my math. Now, explain how to find the angle measures for pink. So this is very similar to the problem we did on the first page where we knew that a straight angle was 180 degrees. For this one, we have to know that a circle is something different. What does a circle measure? What is the measure of a circle? If you said 360 degrees, you would be correct. So 360 minus what we already have here, this 260. Ooh, I can do this one in my head. 360 minus 260 equals 100 degrees. So I know the pink is going to be 100 degrees. Now, obviously, this says to explain, so I would have to say in words, I know this because a circle angle is 360 degrees. I know to subtract what they've already given me in order to get the absent angle or the angle that's a question or something like that. But remembering that you would have to, on your assignment, write that out and explain that. Okay, that was our second of 3 reviews for the unit test.